everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of battlerapresume. This is your host Tom Quee. Thank you so much for joining me, especially today. You know, quite a unique thing here. We've done a lot of kind of face-off, but these are two guys that I'm a massive fan of in a sort of different caliber, you know, a real sort of level of intensity that I really respect. And, you know, we're going to get into a debate of Next in Line 2, you know, this crazy event, this Training Days title match, which I don't know, it almost doesn't need that, you know, anchor. It's just a crazy battle, like, you know, full stop. Really, really looking forward to this one as well. But before we get into it, obviously follow the show on Twitter. We've got battlerapresume on the Patreon. We've got the Gmail. We've got all the social media things covered. You can probably Foursquare somewhere. BRR maybe a postcode for some sort of area. I don't know. You know, someone could search or someone could comment there. But, you know, we're here about the battle. It's about the battlers. It's about Lazy Arse. But Jaybe, I've got to introduce you first. Lazy, you know, been on the show many times. But Jaybe, it's good to have you on for the first time, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the first time. Yeah. Hopefully, the first of a few.
Yeah. No, for sure. And you know, I think the first time that I really became a fan of yours was, you know, we'll get to at length in our, as you say, we're going to do an episode basically in sort of our time just after this. But yeah, it'll be out in a few weeks, whatever. But I watched the Dank battle live. And I remember, I remember you did the Talking Heads Remain in Light bar, which is a bar that it's kind of like a needle drop, like, oh, I know this 80s band reference kind of thing. But it kind of it touched a kindred spirit within me, that bar. I thought it was fantastic.
Oh, good. That was a bet to see someone wanted me to reference Talking Heads in a battle, and I had the Dank battle coming up, and it'll just fit together. I was like, yeah. I really like this. And, you know,
it was really, really good stuff. And Lazy, I think I spotted you at that event. I don't think I knew you, but I recognised your silhouette.
Yeah. My silhouette is pretty recognisable. But one thing I would also say is that I've had someone ask me to do a Talking Heads Road to Nowhere bar as well.
Okay.
So
holy shit. And I just realised, actually, you mentioned Remain in Light, and the first song on that album is Born Under Punches, which is kind of a Danny Myers line. You know, it's but, you know, we're here to talk about you guys. We're not here to talk about David Byrne. We're here to talk about Lazy Arse versus Jaybe. Lazy, how are you feeling about this? I spoke to a lot of people about this on the show, and they mostly have Jaybe winning.
Yeah, man, let them have Jaybe winning. That's, you know, let them. I quite enjoy being the underdog. It feels like pretty much every battle I've done, I've been the underdog, and I've always managed to, at the very least, put on a good show, even if I don't get the win, you know, so if people want to have me as the underdog, there's nothing new to me, you know. Let them have me as the underdog.
That's almost a bar they knew to me on the underdog. I don't know, you know, this kind of soliloquies back. But I mean, Jay as in JB, we'll refer to Lazy, obviously Jake Lazy.
Okay.
You know,
good idea.
Yeah, JB, what are some of Lazy's weaknesses?
That's a good question. I mean, to be honest, I still need to do quite a lot of research. I haven't.
Wow, you don't even know who this guy is, or? I mean,
apart from, you know, the general name, style, a few little things like being Bear Solutions mate, etc., and then just kind of working things around that and everything I've already got. But I still need to kind of do more of a in-depth thing, I did for Jay Short. I haven't done that yet. I had to do the deep research to kind of really find an underlying reason why you're a cunt.
And
how does it feel to know that I don't have to try that hard to find that about you?
No, I mean, that's
I mean, you call him Bear Solutions mate, but, you know, I love Bear Solutions. He's not on this card, though. Isn't Bear Solutions Lazy's mate now?
That's a good question. I mean, yeah, that's a. I mean, to be fair, Bear Solutions has battled Zayn Azrai, who is God MC. So
right.
For a while, still, I think you're Bear's mate.
Okay, that's fair.
Until you become the Training Days champion, and then, you know, then you've got your own kind of marquee name.
I mean, Jake, you know, JB makes a good point. Is that a kind of an albatross around your neck, a la a King of the Dot thing? Is it gonna, you know, really kind of almost stop the winner, or?
No.
Who knows, man? Who knows? I think everything's so up in the air at the moment. You know.
Yeah.
It's hard to call, right? I mean, that's what I know that JB and I are here to face off, but I think that's one thing that we can agree on. is that nobody really knows what the fuck's going on with the future of UK.
No, not the slightest.
It's like, it is just this kind of maelstrom there. And, Lazy, let's talk about, your recent stuff. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of yours, but fair to say you've been taking a lot of battles, it seems. Jaybe's been hibernating in a way.
Well, yeah, I mean, by the time that I do the battle with JB, it'll be, it'll be my 8th battle since JB's battled. That's something to bear in mind. I keep on battling, and I keep battling because I love battling. And any prick who wants to get it can get it. And it's
with your words.
But that's the attitude that I have. That's the attitude I have. Yeah. It's very much like, if somebody wants to battle and they think they're better than me, well, fucking step in the ring and prove it. That's very much the attitude that I have towards every battle.
Yeah, that's the same as me.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that. I mean, you did a lot of battles when you first started, but I feel like the momentum in terms of frequency has sort of dropped off recently.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably about before the Dank Schrader one. Like, I did something crazy, like, how many battles did I do? I did, 11 in, 9 months at one point in 2015. But then 3 of them were on King of the Realms and never got released. But that was, in the space of a year, doing, 11, 12 battles. And since then, in the last 2 years, I've done, 4 battles.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's exactly my point. I think I've done something like that amount in the last year, and some of them haven't been released. That's just the way that battling goes. But, but unfortunately, man, at the moment, I feel like... I'm not 100% sure how many battles I've done, but I can tell you I've only lost 3. So I hope you're on fucking form, man.
I intend to be. I mean, to be honest, I thought I was off form for the Dank Schrader battle.
Wow. And
that turned out to be the best one I'd done. And kind of it all fit together with the crowd and everything all fit together well. So I'm just I don't trust my own judgment when it comes to this. I just put them together as best as I can. And then I just go out there and perform them, and sometimes the crowd just pops with it. Sometimes you have to work for it, but it is what it is. There isn't really a fucking textbook that sorts it out. No matter how many battles you do, you'll still be learning new things. I've done about 20 battles now, and you still learn new things. I figured out a lot of stuff in that time. Obviously, I'm sure you have in the last however many months you've done 8 battles, you must have figured out loads of stuff you didn't know before that. It's just a learning experience.
Every battle, man. Every battle you learn something new. And the thing is, you sort of, you walked away from KOTR. Okay, that's a personal choice. but KOTR is an incredible place to learn about battles. They put you through the toughest battle conditions you can go through. It's like an a-go gate, you slip up a little bit and they call time on you. That's one, that's just the preliminary measure. They're out there to make you get better. And that's one thing that you can never take away from KOTR, and that's one reason why I'm never gonna stop battling there.
No, that's fair. To be fair, I didn't try to stop battling. I mean, I'm sure I'll do it more in the actual thing, why I stopped battling for KOTR. But it wasn't real. I had no intention to battle for them. Again, I'm still good mates. Say good mates. I haven't spoken to them in ages. But Bowski, I still Bowski's a lovely guy. I still know him. If I saw him, I'd speak to him and be like, "Hey, how you doing? How's you live? I hope you're still okay." But
the latest word I've got on that is the surgery went well. That's just as a heads up. I think I hear he's in a pretty good way. All things considered.
Yeah, no,
that's good.
All the best wishes to Bowski. But I mean, let's get back to the battle. Of course. And Jake, Lazy, I should say. One of the things that I love about your writing is you feast on the opponent, the angles they have, the routes you can take. Someone like Jaybe is ripe for this kind of style.
Yeah, but I'm not going to tell you what fucking angles I've got planned.
Spoilers.
This is war. I'm not here to give shit away. But but yeah, no, absolutely. Jaybe, definitely, there are things that, spring to mind as soon as you start writing for him. And obviously, there are, obviously I'm not I'm not at a completed point yet, but I definitely know the kind of avenue
structure.
I'm going to take. Yeah.
How you're going to bring it all together to really
Absolutely.
underline the point that I am a massive cunt.
Yeah.
That's
Should
usually
go away.
That's usually.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, JB, I struggle to imagine you in a compliments battle.
I think I could. I actually listened to your thing with you and John Whitmore about conference battles, and I completely agree with him that like it's quite like I could do a conference battle because it's just an inversion, like using the same kind of aggression and the same kind of layering and kind of idea, like the way I do my battles normally, but kind of just inversing that into kind of right. Let's see how can I kind of build all these underlying things that make you a really good guy, really build you up as a person, not just like you're amazing, I'd suck your dick, etc. compliments. I think I could do that, but obviously I'm not one for compliments in regular life because everyone's a cunt, etc.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Am I allowed to use that as an angle?
Oh, certainly.
But yeah, no, this, obviously this battle is going to be very, very interesting, being very, very guarded, but I appreciate that because, we can't all, the intricacies that you guys project are just, something that I can revel in. But let's talk about like next in line as a whole. Like, I mean, starting with you, Lazy, you had a crazy showing there.
So what with last
yeah,
year?
Yeah, amazing battle.
Yeah, man, I was really happy with the way that A battle went. Everything up until the decision. But to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I think A beat me. I think he took the first 2 rounds. And to be honest, I'm not really ashamed of that either because he put in a fucking awesome showing. And I wasn't even meant to be in that competition until 3 weeks before it started. So, and it's weird. It was weird prepping for that A battle. It took me a good week and a half before I even sort of began to really formulate any ideas for him. But having that competition kind of brought something out, and I'm glad it did. Because obviously it kind of propelled me to a new level and a lot of people's lives, which I'm happy for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definite breakthrough performance. And I mean, Jay yourself versus Jay Short, that was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if it had happened, I mean, it's not Jay Short's fault. His coach got stuck for 3-4 hours, and he ended up he got there. He's like, "Man, I'm so sorry it took so long." I was like, "It's all right, we can still do the battle." But I would have preferred it to get done,
of course,
before the Tony D battle and inside where the stuff could have popped off more, rather than us having to shout over a drunken crowd that had already seen Tony versus Jock.
Yeah.
So who gives a fuck anyway? It's just But I mean, the material I had and the amount of actual writing I did for that was by far the best, largest amount that I'd done for a battle. And I think going back, it's still kind of, I don't know, I think it is the one I'm most proud of in terms of just a battle. I think, the material, I was most happy about that.
Mm-hmm. And
I stood right behind the camera for that battle. I really enjoyed your showing against Jay Shaw. That was really enjoyable to watch.
Wow.
Oh, safe. Well, hopefully you enjoy this one even closer and personal. Even though you will have to kneel down at some point if you really want to catch the boss. I mean, that's a given.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who's going to bring that angle up first.
Yeah, I mean, does the first bar count?
Absolutely.
That's good.
And this event next in line 2, obviously you guys are top card now, which is crazy to see. Awesome. That I agree with what you're saying, JB. It should have been in a more controlled environment, even though it was still fantastic. Clearly was brilliant on paper, but it just needed a bit more there. But now you guys are back, and you're near enough headline. But let's get onto these early battles. LS Dean versus Mr. Quinny. Any thoughts?
Do you want to go first, Lazy?
Who the fuck is Mr. Quinny?
Mr. Quinny.
Yeah.
Danny Jack revealed to me Mr. Quinny was one of those rare golden gooses, the guys who apply an entry at don'tflop.com, and the ones who actually get chosen. Apparently he's all right, and obviously you all know LS Dean, so I guess cool matchup.
But why is LS Dean trying out again?
I don't know.
Am I right?
Yeah, that's it doesn't make sense. I think it's one of those things. He'll be like, "I'm so shit. I thought I wanted to start over again." I'm sure that's what his angle on it will be.
I'm sure. No, you know what? I think it'll be different. I think it'll be more that whole perspective of, "Oh, I got a free ticket to next in line."
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean,
yeah, I remember. I think Soul, when Soul and Death battled Chris Lee and Zen at 4th birthday, like Soul mentions, like, "You're a free ticket. That's what this battle is." So it's it's got a nice bit of legacy there. But lots of crazy battles here as well. But I mean, talk to me about the Fiddlers just before we get on to the next one. I mean, what are your thoughts on this venue? Classic, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like, because I started watching this like, I mean, it wasn't even called the birthday events then, but like around second birthday was when I started really following Don't Flop, and like but pretty much every single London event was at the Fiddlers, and so like Tony D trying out there, like Mark Grist versus Most Prob trying out there, like Swear King, like so many great battlers trying out there, and just the amount of events they put on and classic battles over the years, and the venue's just so perfect for it. Like anyway, like the way it's all set up, like you think, I mean, I think you always get like a different impression on camera than you do when you actually get to Fiddlers, and then you see it there and you're like, oh shit, like this is where all these classic battles happened. It's so good though. Yeah, no, you're right.
Fiddlers is an incredible venue. It just, the stage, the space that they have is only slightly raised, but it's it's just right for a battle event, just a head's height above the people in front of you. And it's just what you need.
Yeah, no, completely. Yeah. And the sense of, I don't really consider it, but you're so right, JB, when you talk about the history that's gone down there, like some incredible stuff. You know, Most Prob Ogmios to 142 versus Soliloquy. There are some just Jesus coated. You know what I mean? Like untouchable. You know, or who would want to touch it? Loads of crazy stuff here. Crazy to see Sherpa versus Milky Bar Kid.
That should be a good battle, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously. Milky, he's one of those dub scandal guys.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So I knew like shit.
That sound. But yeah.
I don't know. I haven't watched any dub scandal battles.
No. They're I mean, interesting. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, Sherpa obviously joined. I mean, Jake, you battled him.
Yeah, and he kicked my ass as well. Like, I can't lie. Like, I had some personal stuff in the run up to that battle, so I wasn't as prepped as I hoped I would be, but regardless, like, I think he probably would have kicked my ass regardless. He came really nicely that battle, and to be honest, I was also really glad because he'd been no-showed something like 4 or 5 times before that, and Sherpa is a really good writer. He was meant to battle Pete Cashmore at the first next in line.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. That would have been jokes. Sherpa, and he's just a great guy as well.
Oh yeah,
John.
Yeah.
I recently had John Whitmore on my Metallica podcast, which was a joy to have him on. So definitely check that out if you want more Sherpa in your life. And as you mentioned earlier, we did do the the kind of compliments bars, and we've done other stuff as well together. He's a very interesting dude. Next up is another great friend of the show, Adam Terminal versus Deviant. Lazy, any thoughts on this?
I can't pretend I've seen either of these guys battle. I'm afraid.
Okay.
Honesty.
I respect that. I do respect that. Domsky 1 versus Podge Dwyer.
What?
I've seen Domsky battle. Jay, have you seen any of these guys?
No.
I'm guessing Jay is not. I mean, we'll leave Jay in reserve for a little bit.
I'm not an expert on modern kind of battling. I haven't watched a battle in about a year now.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so long. I watched like half the first round and be like, yeah, these are alright. I'm not going to watch 30 minutes of this and turn it off.
Okay. No, that's fair enough. Conman Kerr versus Manic Lazy.
Conman is going to win on the grounds that he's actually really quite good.
Well, all right, I'm going to back Lazy. No, wait, fuck Lazy. Who's the other guy? I forget the name as soon as, like, I remember the last one, Terminal versus Deviant.
Yeah.
Those words are quite, interesting words to use. but I can't remember what the fuck it was now.
No, that's all good, man. That's all good. So, we get to the main sort of card, a battle that's been bumped up, rightly so. Maverick versus Josiah Matrix.
You want to back Josiah, don't you? But Maverick is getting the format down. Maverick is definitely getting the format.
Yeah, I think Maverick's got it, to be honest. Like, Josiah, like, I hope, like I said this on one of the things, and Josiah commented under it, like, that's 100% that Josiah Matrix is one of the best rappers in the UK, and he just is. But battling is a whole different format, and to do it for your first time, you're not going to have got everything down. You'll not have sort of, like, he'll be amazing at some aspects of it, but there'll be some things he just doesn't know yet, and Maverick has a step up on that, so it's kind of, can Josiah's natural rapping ability and writing overcome what Maverick's learned? And personally, first battle, I don't think it's likely, but it's going to be a great battle.
I don't think it's likely, but equally, I also feel like people are probably, like, aside from the dub scandal contingent, I feel like people are going to be on Josiah's side for this one.
Yeah, they were, but I mean, people were on Skirmisher's side when he first came, and he's an incredible rapper, but then he did say he fucks shit up like anal sex, and it all goes downhill after that.
Well, yeah, I mean, assuming he avoids anything like that.
Yeah. No, that's a good analogy, actually. Yeah, I didn't think of it like that, but that is interesting. And the next battle, obviously, we've spoken about your battle at length. Frankie Fraser, Jaybe versus Bender.
That's such a nice battle. I mean, I'm gonna go with Bender on that, just because I think kind of that experience, and Frankie will be a bit in awe because Bender is like his guy, and so I think he might spend, like, he might not, but he might spend too long kind of giving him too much respect rather than just attacking him, which might be to his detriment, whereas Bender can just say, like, fuck off, you little bitch, I'm Bender. But writing wise, I mean, I still got to give it to Bender, because sometimes, like, the multis he puts together are probably the best in the world, but Frankie's no fucking slouch either. Frankie's one of the best writers in the UK. That's just a given. It's a great battle, and performance-wise, like, you always underestimate how good these guys are performing live. Like, I remember seeing Thesaurus live in Amsterdam in just like a small room, like 100 people, and he is a fucking force of nature. Like, you hear him live, he is controlling an entire room so effortlessly and so loudly that you don't even think of Thesaurus as being like a guy that wins on performance, but he completely does. And, like, I think Bender will be kind of the same thing. Like, you'll see him live and you'll just be blown away in a small room by how he controls it. Whereas Frankie, I'm not, like, Frankie, he's gotten better as he goes along, but he's still not nearly at that level. Same as, like, most UK battlers. That's my thoughts.
No, man. Lazy, this is a crazy matchup.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think this is probably the well, actually, I was going to say it's the closest matchup of the day, but until we get on to discussing the next battle, I'm going to reserve that, because I've got something to say about the next battle. But
let's get into the next battle, man. Scoop versus Yunnan, please.
Okay, so basically, I had Yunnan winning until Scoop sent me some of his bars.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? It's one of those.
That's deep. That's deep.
Man, like Scoop is not coming light for this. Let me tell you that, man. Scoop is punching every 2 bars minimum, and you know Yunnan is an incredible rapper, and I love Yunnan's style. But sometimes he loses on the grounds that he doesn't give the crowd enough opportunities to react, and Scoop is not lacking in that capacity at all.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
And Yunnan seems to have a bit of a problem against people that are more self-aware than him, because like Yunnan, he's an incredible rapper. He's incredible at, like, stacking multis together, and sometimes that he hits a diamond in, like, the multi-stack. Yeah. And sometimes that just creates this diamond of a bar of, like, 2 multis back to back that's so relevant and such a good line. But a lot of the time, like, that might be 1 in, like, 8 or 16 that he really stumbles across something brilliant. If Scoop's hitting every bar and Scoop's kind of, like, showing him up, because, like, what Tony D did to him, and, like, what a lot of people can do to Yunnan is kind of do that, like, you're just a fucking idiot. Why are you being such a fucking idiot? You know, it's like me. Like, why do stupid shit? It's, you know, that, like, regardless of talent, like if Yunnan isn't self-aware of himself and he's just going rambling off about something else, then it's not gonna pay off in the long run. And Scoop will do that. Scoop will hit him every 2 bars with like simple shit which just hits and gets the crowd popping and makes Yunnan look like a dickhead.
100%, man, 100%. To be honest, I've on the grounds of what I've heard, I've got to give it to Scoop. But if Yunnan is, exactly what Jay said, if he's a bit more self-aware and he understands the kind of style he's up against, that could go either way. But at the moment, I've got to throw it Scoop's way.
Yeah. Although, I mean, you could bring it back to Yunnan versus Shuffle, where like everyone thought Shuffle would absolutely body him, and Yunnan completely switched it up, completely changed how he was attacking Shuffle, and that made the battle, if not Yunnan won, then it was at least really debatable. Which is, I mean, that's what you get when Yunnan's done like 100 odd battles or like 50 plus battles, like, and Scoop's on his like 3rd or 4th now. And it's kind of, Yunnan, there's so much more he can draw from if he does draw from it and not just do like some stupid Yunnan shit like that ban me now Bagnall thing. It's like, what do you think? What are you doing?
I thought Yunnan. So I was in the building for Yunnan versus Quill, and on the day I gave it to Quill. Watching it back, I gave it to Yunnan.
Did you? I haven't seen it, but I've only heard that bit where it's like ban me now, and Bagnall's like, what a fucking bellend.
No, he had some like you know when you hear somebody just constructing multis and you're like, shit, man, I wish I could do it like that. He had some shit where he was talking about like best believe that I'm a phoenix rising from beneath a pile of ashes, where you just withhold that final syllable of the multi to get that internal rhythm going like that. It was really impressive. But it's the kind of thing that you appreciate more when you watch it back than on the day, because on the day you're like, come on, man, give me a punchline, give me a reason to shout. But
that's the reality of it.
And top of the card, of course, is Shocks versus Gemini. Crazy fucking battle. Lazy, who wins?
Don't ask me questions like this. Okay, you know what? I'm going to say something similar to what I just said about Yunnan versus Quill there. On the day, Shocks wins it because punchline. I think Gemini will break him down better. I think so. On the day, I think Shocks wins it. On camera, I think Gemini wins it.
Who have you got, Jay?
Well, I mean, it's a bit of an unknown quantity because I don't think Gemini has ever really come close to losing a battle. Really, I mean, Tally's probably the closest, and since then he's battled like Dialect and Yunnan and Charlie Clips and shit. So you can't really take that Tally battle with a grain of salt now that he's beaten so many better people. But Shocks beat Soul. It's like, what? Like, and he had a legitimately close battle with Tony D. Like, I judged that battle, and I was there like with my phone out on the notes, like writing down bars as it's going along, trying to count them up, and it's so fucking close. I mean, I think Shocks will win on the basis that Gemini's battled a lot of people who use the same kind of approach as Shocks, like Dialect, Yunnan, are kind of crosses of that kind of very aggressive street talking style, but neither of them write nearly as well as Shocks does. Like, Shocks is a different beast when it comes to writing than both those guys, and Gemini hasn't gone up against that. I don't think he's ever really gone up against anyone like that, and I think that will kind of, because Gemini can undermine that kind of rude boy mentality because has the same kind of mentality, but he's also a lot wittier with it. Like with Tox, like he was just a lot wittier, and his bars are a lot more hard hitting. I don't think that's going to be the case with Shocks. I think
it's not. Yeah, I was about to say it's not fair to compare Shocks to Tox.
No, it's not. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like it's a different level. Like, but it's that kind of street approach. But then Shocks has this whole different writing style than pretty much anyone else in the league right now. So you can't really.
Yeah, it's a fucking mad matchup for sure. Like, really on paper is just, astounding, and these guys have been on the runs of their lives. But, we've gone through the next in line 2 card. We've wrapped up the face-off. It's a bit more amicable than I would have anticipated,
Yeah.
but that's fine. I appreciate the Venom is going to come, on this fateful day that's sold out now. That I mean, just to drop a little bit of lane behind the scenes knowledge, me and briefly discussed doing a live pay-per-view from Next in Line 2, which obviously isn't happening. That would be awesome. Like, these events need fucking more coverage. Like, shout out to King of the Dot, but this is one of the events of the year. Like, forget Alpha Omega. Next in Line 2 is, crazy, but, ran over. Lazy, JB, it's been great to have you guys on.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, man.
Safe soliloquy.